Let me start off by saying I think it's afternoon time. Good afternoon to everyone. To date, our March on Crime has included a meeting with several meetings with community leaders across the city and specifically on the south side of town, a call for an end to the violence from ministers and other community leaders, and a public safety summit with area law enforcement. Today we want to take an added turn. We want to take the next step in this effort with the launch of Turnaround Houston, and we're labeling this Turnaround Houston, a series of transformative resource fairs designed to eliminate barriers to employment. There are Houstonians who have difficulty securing employment because of a variety of reasons, which may include a lack of education, prior criminal history, poverty, mental health issues, and a lack of positive influences. And even almost in every conversation in which we talked about the violence and stopping violence and how to curb the violence, employment, education, resource development, providing people with the tools in order to take care of themselves and their families, that came up over and over and over again. And people kept saying to me, Mayor, we need more than just police. We need added tools. There's a part of our city that is in dire need of assistance, and it's our responsibility to ensure that they are plugged into vital resources and become a part of our city's success. With the launch of Turnaround Houston, we want to eliminate the barriers to employment by offering a roadmap to a brighter future. Turnaround Houston is about offering resources like job training, resume writing, tattoo removal, counseling, workforce development programs, and intervention to help Houstonians who are hard to employ turn their lives literally around. The first resource fair will be held on Saturday, March 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we're starting at the Sunnyside Multi-Service Center, 9413 Cullen Boulevard in Houston. And we anticipate having about 4 to 5 of these turnaround resource programs, and probably one every other month. I would like to thank the Office of Business Opportunity Director Carlicia Wright and the city's Health Department Director Stephen Williams and their teams for assisting with the coordination of this initiative. And at this time, I want to call on Councilmember Dwight Boykin, who a couple of years ago started an initiative in his district, District D, called Second Chance, and I want him to speak with it because we want to incorporate Turnaround Houston with some of the initiatives that are already taking place. Councilman Dwight Boykin.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me first apologize. For those who wear contact lenses, you know what it's like reading with one contact in your eye. So let me apologize for that. But let me thank Mayor Turner for his leadership on this issue. Mayor Turner is absolutely, first of all, I'm honored that he started Turnaround Houston in District D. The other day, Mayor Turner and I and some community clergy individuals met with regards to a shooting that took place off of Cullen and Belfort. And I was really impressed, and the people throughout the city was impressed that Mayor Turner went to the spot where the kid body laid. And they talked about ways to prevent future crimes from taking place, not just in District D, but throughout the city of Houston. And so he came up with this concept of making certain that the individuals have the skill set ready to take on job opportunities. And so I just commend you so much, Mayor, for that. I really do. And you're committed to making certain that we equip these young individuals, or these individuals as a whole, with the necessary skills. The goal for our Second Chance program, Mayor Turner mentioned that 2 years ago, we had our Second Chance program at Texas Southern University, where over 1,200 individuals showed up. And out of that, 36 received jobs and 82 registered to vote, didn't know they could vote. So it was a successful program. We will have another one this year. Phase 2 will be in April this year. What the goal, hoping that Mayor Turner's initiative for, well, first of all, we're all in this together. Let me start with that. But the Turnaround Houston will equip individuals to come and talk to these different employers with some skills behind them. And I think that's where Mayor Turner's Turnaround Houston will marry into the Second Chance Jobs program we have, that will make this a very successful event for all Houstonians. So thank you again, Mayor, and thank you for your vision, and I look forward to continue to work with you and the citizens of Houston to try to curb this crime and unemployment in the city of Houston. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Boykins, and I want to thank you for being instrumental in getting us to this point, because I'm borrowing from something that you started a couple of years ago. I would like to ask that Marlene McNeese from the city's reentry program say a few words, and that's a part of Turnaround Houston. Marlene.
Good afternoon, and I too want to thank the mayor and council member for their many years of leadership on the issues of addressing the needs of people who are justice involved in returning home to the community. I'm speaking today on behalf of our Health Department Director, Stephen Williams, who could not be here today, but the Houston Health Department since 2008 has operated the City of Houston Community Reentry Network program, and we've seen tremendous amount of success. Currently, Harris County is the largest county of that houses offenders that are released from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice each year. Of those released to community supervision in Harris County, almost 88% of them establish residence right here in this city. So when they are released, they do indeed stay and attempt to make a living and a life right here at home. We currently, through the program, have been able to serve a fraction of those. We have been successful in touching and reaching about 3,500 men and women over the years, and each year we've tried to grow and expand that number. Partnering with Turnaround Houston will allow us to expand the array of community partnerships and stakeholders that we can bring to bear to provide a holistic approach for those men and women who need the kind of supports to stay out and to not reoffend. We always talk about recidivism rates, and of those that come through our program and successfully complete it, we have an extremely low recidivism rate. About 0.9% of those will reoffend over the course of several years. So we're very proud of the fact that the committed folks, men and women who come through our program, who try to put their mind and their energy toward turning their life around, avail themselves to the resources that we have, stay out. And they not just stay out, they thrive. And you'll hear from a few of those individuals today. So in closing, I just wanted to say we're very proud, the Houston Health Department, of being able to not only continue the work that we've been doing around reentry services, but to grow and expand it by partnering with Turnaround Houston. Thank you.
Thanks, Marlene. One of the reasons why we're announcing Turnaround Houston now, with all the different components, providing people who are, let's say, who are coming out of TDCJ and they're suffering with, experiencing two major problems: housing and the lack of employment. And I think the other question, one question that you may ask is, okay, so where does the money come from to help move this program along? I am pleased to say one of the last things that I did before I left the legislature and being vice chair of the appropriation is that I was able to get $1 million for reentry as a flow-through grant from TDCJ to the city of Houston, anticipating my arrival. That $1 million is now available. That's right. And because it's not just a city issue, I was able to get $1 million in grant funding from TDCJ to Houston, and $1 million to Dallas as well. They are literally, it is for reentry programs like Turnaround Houston, which will provide the additional resources to take to service even more. Because if we can get them in and provide them with the help that they need, the recidivism rate is lower, and it also becomes, it helps us on public safety concerns. This is the program for which those dollars in large part, will flow. So I'm pleased with that and look forward to working with Marlene and the Department of Health as we move forward. It is important that we share the success stories of Houstonians who have been able to take advantage of social services and available resources to turn their lives around. I would like to ask Robert Pena to share his story. Robert.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Pena, and as Mr. Mayor Turner had said, I was released from Texas Department of Criminal Justice since September the 3rd, 2015. Upon my release, I suffered a heart attack 2 days after and put me in the hospital. I was unable to get a job. I had a lot of debts going on, and I was just unable to focus on trying to become the person that I wanted to be, which was better in society with my community. So I found re-entry program, and I joined them in October, and I'm proud to say that they have completely changed my whole aspect in life and have allowed me to continue my life growing and becoming more positive in my life and also in my community. They've given me the tools, the resources to better myself as far as my resume and job fairs that they were able to provide. Some of the programs include anger management, focusing on what the real problem was. I'm an alcoholic, and they also do substance abuse classes that have really been very beneficial for me. I've got myself involved with several Bible studies in the Houston Pearland area. I've also volunteered for the city, the Houston Livestock Rodeo Show. So, anything and everything that I'm trying to do is just to better myself. I'm also mentoring some of my, classmates there at the reentry program. They're helping me get my Social Security disability because when I got out, I had a lot of diseases. I had a lot of bone problems and health issues that I couldn't, right off the bat, focus on them because I didn't have no health insurance. So I finally got the gold card. They helped me get that. They helped me get food stamps to get back on my feet. So they took all the pressure from me coming out, not having any money, not knowing where my life was going with a job, to being frustrated and causing me to think that I needed to go back out and use again. And they've taken that desire completely away from me and have allowed me to become the man that I am today. I'm so very grateful for the city of Houston, for the mayor, because without these type of programs, I don't think I would be able to be standing here in front of you guys trying to share my message. I just want to say thank you for everybody. I want to say hi to my mom because she trusted in me. And I'm just trying to be positive. I'm trying to be a better person, and I think this program is going to help millions of people in Houston. And thank you, and God bless.
All right. Thank you. What's his name? And then we also, and let me just say, as I bring up Angel, and Angel, we can hand you this mic. Turnaround Houston is intended to be transformative. When I came here, I said I wanted to be a transformative mayor for challenging times. And it's not just enough to talk about creating a safe city. We have to be very proactive and aggressive and in really reaching out and changing people's lives. And one way of changing people's lives is to give them the tools that they need to succeed. And Turnaround Houston is about giving people the tools that they need in order to succeed. So thank you, Robert, for sharing your story. And now let me introduce Angel to you. Angel, give me your full name.
My name is Angel Ponce, and as you see me here today, I wasn't always dressed this way. I had tattoos on my face, tattoos all over my fingers. I dressed with Dickies and Ben Davis and the known gangster Nikes, which are the Nike Cortez. I remember a while back, one of a city employee, Mr. Victor Gonzalez, with the mayor's anti-gang office, approached me one day and said, "Hey, Angel, here's this card. Whenever you need help, call me and I'll be here for you." I came into a situation one day whenever I was in a car wreck, and due to the car wreck, I had a spinal cord injury, minor brain damage. That's why some of my friends think I'm a little out there sometimes. And as a result of that, I can't walk for the rest of my life. I came to a situation where I needed help, I needed assistance, I needed to find a job, I needed a way to keep going in life. And then I called Mr. Gonzalez with the Mayor's Anti-Gang Office, and he lent that help. He assisted me in finding a job. He assisted me in removing my tattoos by a free tattoo removal program offered by the city of Houston. And little at a time, I changed my life. I changed the way I dressed, the way I spoke. I got an internship with the Mayor's Anti-Gang Office, and I worked for them for quite some time, and I got a promotion about almost 2 years ago, and I'm working with the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities now. I'm the Senior Customer Service Rep for that division, and I'm currently assisting not just gang members, but people with disabilities throughout the city of Houston. I believe that programs just like Turning Point, the Mayor's Anti-Gang Office, and everything that the city has to offer, especially for somebody like myself or an individual that had just gotten out of prison or is on parole or is on probation or a juvenile that is coming out of TDCJ. These kinds of opportunities are very important because as you see me today, I'm well-groomed, I'm successful. Although I'm in a wheelchair, I mean, it's just the benefits to that is I get to park at the front at Walmart. But, you know, success stories like this are out there. We just don't hear about them. But I believe programs such as these are going to allow individuals such as myself to keep going, be as successful, and be a part of the city.
Thanks, Angel. And again, thank you, Angel. Thank you, Robert. And Turnaround Houston is intended to build a lot of success stories. This initiative would not be possible without our social service agencies and community partners who have come together to launch Turnaround Houston. Some of our partners in this community initiative are the city's Office of Business Opportunity, OBO, the Mayor's Anti-Gang Office, the city's Reentry Program, the city's Health Department, the city's Summer Job Program, and we're working to build that out even more, Career Gear, Dress for Success, the Franklin Beauty School, and one of the owners is here, and Franklin Beauty School has been in the Houston for 100 years, literally, and they have taken folk who didn't have any skills and turned them around. They'll be providing, and a part of turning people around is making sure that they're groomed, hair cut, their hair done, all of those things that would both, and they're going to be out there at the resource fair, literally offering their services for free, and and then for people who don't have hair like me, when you see me after the 26th, it's going to be like this. The workforce solutions, the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation, the Houston Area Urban League, and SIR Jobs for Progress. I would also like to thank our sponsors of the Port of Houston Authority and the Houston First Corporation. So, you know, we're excited about it. I will tell you on a personal note, I'm excited about it because it's going to take a holistic approach to make our city safe, a holistic approach. And it will make HPD's job easier if we can get to people sooner. And if we can start creating more success stories like Angel and Robert, then this city will be better for it. And literally, the potential of this strategy, and it's not just a program, of this strategy being transformative, I think is limitless. So having said that, let me stop and take any questions that anyone may have.
Mayor, what's the total cost of this program, and is it funded in its entirety by the TDCJ grant? If not, what are the different funding mechanisms?
I think we're still kind of assessing the cost. Come on.
Tanya McConaughey Rivera, Office of Business Opportunity. Each resource fair costs approximately $6,000. So Houston Forest Corporation and the Port of Houston is helping to sponsor that. So we are not using any city funding to sponsor these events. And those basically will cover any food or any marketing materials that we may need to host the event. But we're using city facilities, so that will not be a cost for us.
Okay. So that's the cost of hosting the fair itself. In terms of the additional monies coming, let's say from TDCJ, that's to implement the strategies themselves. because when it comes to, for example, people looking for reentry, looking for in jobs or employment opportunities, you have to have resources to work with. And so that $1 million that's being made available provide us the some of the additional monies that we need to effectively implement the program, which is even more important. And then we'll utilize whatever existing resources that the city may currently have, but that $1 million is in addition to.
Can you clarify what you mean by effectively implement the program? Is it kind of, other than job fairs, what is that implementation?
What that means, for example, a lot of people will come and they may not have their driver's license or some other things when they're coming out, the documentation, other things that they need, and you need a resource that can help get them to the right person. And in many cases, for example, we are looking at partnering with other nonprofits and others that can assist them. Well, that $1 million in large part can be used to provide some seed money or funding for some of those nonprofits to specifically assist people who are coming through these jobs fairs who may need that assistance. Okay, so whether we're partnering with churches, nonprofits, private organizations, and I think we may be looking at putting out some RFPs to some nonprofits as well, to supplement the program.
Mayor, do we have an approximation of how many of our fellow citizens fall into this hard-to-employ category? Have you been given that number?
Well, let me just say, when you're looking at the number that are coming out from, let's say, out of TDCJ almost every year, coming back into the Houston-Harris County area, you're looking at about 12,000 to 13,000 people that are coming back to Houston-Harris County alone.
I'm talking about those outside of TDCJ.
Outside of TDCJ, I don't know what that number is, because, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's just not geared to individuals who have been incarcerated. It's geared to people who are just having a hard time finding employment. It may geared to people who may have dropped out, don't have the skills, just feel as though the doors are locked. So it's geared to any individual who feel as though they are caught in a situation where they can't get out, and they may be tempted to do some other things. Okay, so to any of those, and I can't give you the number. What I can say to you, Greg, is that it's just not enough to tell people don't commit crimes. You know, I think we have to also tell them what they can say yes to. Yeah. And this is a mechanism by saying, look, wherever you may find yourself, there is a door, and we're here to assist you to better your lives to the extent that you want it. It doesn't have to be always the same. And when you look at Robin, when you look at Angel, these are examples that just a little bit of help can literally turn people's lives. And there are some folk who are caught in gangs because they don't know, there's no one else to turn to, so the gangs have open arms. Well, this is the way of the city of saying our arms are open, and we're inviting you to come in.
Beyond, I think some people who see this are like it's just a job fair. I think you've got a vision for something broader than that.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what more people are going to see when they come to these resource fairs beyond employers like the Franklin Beauty School?
Yeah, and it's not a job fair, because I want to be very clear with that, because I don't want people showing up and you got 1,000 people coming and you have a limited slots. It's not a jobs fair. Now, that's not to say that some people who may be going through it may not end up with a job, but it is not a job fair. What it is a resource fair to provide you with the tools and enhance your skill level to put you in a better position to get a job. That's what it does. There are some people who don't even have no idea how to write a resume. They have no clue. There are some folk who are in need of assistance, whether it's housing or some other factor that's holding them back, where it's intended to be there and to offer some direction to them. There are some people who, for example, may be caught up in a gang or may have been in a gang and they want out, but they don't know how to get out. It's intended to provide a venue for them to come and for us to help to redirect their lives. There are some folk who will come and say, look, I would like to go on a job, I don't have clothes, and they may not look the part. Well, this is the thing that says we're not judgmental. At one point in time, we all were at that point. But, you know, Franklin Beauty School is here to help you look good. help you look good, you know, give you a better do, you know. And at the same time, they don't just do hair. They deal with the person, him or herself. And they've been doing it successfully for 100 years. And for many people on the south side or north side, east side, they know the Franklin Beauty School, okay? So it's not a quote unquote a jobs fair. Now there will be businesses there, but this is primarily for someone or for people who want to improve their lives. They have no clue on how to start. They may be limited in their resources, and we are trying to take and wrap and put around them all of the necessary elements to take them to the next step, to literally to start their transformation. Okay, that's what it's intended to do. Yeah.
Mayor, there's a lot of the new synthetic drugs out on the street. I think
Like
Kush and all
Kush.
that. Yeah.
Kush.
That are affecting a lot of the young people trying to get into jobs and
True.
all. What is the city doing about that? Because this is relatively new, and a lot of programs are not made for the Kush.
Yeah, and there have been several conversations that we've had about Kush and how to deal with that, because a number of people, for example, that we generally would classify as homeless, but they're on Kush. So, you know, that the individuals who may be on Kush sometimes get lumped into that homeless population and make it a little bit more difficult to deal with them. So that's a different strategy to deal with that. In dealing with people who on substance abuse or utilizing Kush. And so we're having a different conversation on that. That's somewhat, I want to say it's separate from it, but that's not the focus of this resource fair here. But that is an issue that we're having to deal with in real time, even as it relates to the population, homeless population, for some of them downtown, because a lot of the people that you see on the streets who may be walking around in a daze, they're on Kush.
Number for Turnaround Houston.
Who's kind of
resource person?
It's 832-393-0954.
Say it one more time.
832-393-0954, and you can also get more information by visiting the website, which is turnaroundhouston.org.
Mayor, how many people do you expect to be able to serve at each of these resource fairs, and how do you intend to recruit them to come?
So we can't be sure exactly how many people are going to come, but we are hoping to be able to assist 500 people at each one of the events, and if more come, we have contingency plans to be able to handle that. What was your second part of your question?
How do we get the information?
How do we get the information? So we will be working with the re-entry program. We'll have flyers. The mayor is going to be on some radio programs to help spread the word. We'll also be utilizing our city council members and their newsletters to get the word out. We'll have flyers that will be taken to halfway houses, barbershops, churches, so we can help spread the word in the community.
Mayor, resource fairs are valuable. Job training is even more valuable.
Yes.
Do we have the resources to expand there right
Well,
now?
well, I think that's why we are trying to design strategies to deal with, for example, to utilize the $1 million that are coming, and how best to utilize those to assist people in turning around their lives. So that's one aspect of it. In terms of whatever additional revenue that may be available, and taking a look at that. Some of the programs are somewhat disjointed and not connected. And so a part of what I'm doing as I go through the city's budget is to try to pull those things together so that we are partnering with one another, and this department is not doing this, and some other department is doing something else, when you're trying to address the same population. But workforce development programs, enhancing people's skills, all of that's critical. That's a critical piece. How much it will cost to do that, I don't know. But I am trying to streamline strategies based on what we are trying to achieve. And in this area, that's why we several different departments are coming together. Oh, who would have thought OBO is you know, when you think about OBO, you're thinking about a business trying to get a contract from the city of Houston. Well, quite frankly, they're doing a lot more here. This is not about trying to help a vendor get a contract from the city of Houston. This is about trying to take people's lives and transform them and put them in a position where if they have a skill or if they want to be an entrepreneur, we're putting them on the road to become an entrepreneur. Then one day they can go back to OBO, not as somebody on the streets not doing much, but somebody that now has a business and saying, we want to do business with the city of Houston. That's the transformation that we seek, okay? Granted, it is the beginning, but if we don't start, we won't get there. But the whole essence of this program, Turnaround, Turnaround Houston, is to be transformative. And if we only can take a few and transform their lives, that's a success story. Okay? But the point that I want to make in the month of March, where the focus has been on public safety, in order to make the city safe, it's going to take a comprehensive strategy. And it's not just about police, deputy, the DA's office. It's all of these component parts. And then the education czar, Julius Stepech, for example, is also a part of this effort. So we're talking about the education czar. We talked about coordinating law enforcement. We were out there in communities talking about end the bloodshed. Well, now this is saying for those who want to improve their lives, we are providing the necessary steps for you to do just that. And we'll have to build it out. Okay.
So Mayor, you're starting in Sunnyside. Do you have a date set for your first resource fair? And then, second question, what other neighborhoods would you anticipate having these resource fairs?
I think we're going from the south to the north to like East End. I think we're planning about 5 in different quadrants every other month.
And these are what you got, low income, high crime was mentioned in the news release. Low income, high crime neighborhoods, basically. Okay.
Basically, kind of going in and getting into the neighborhoods, getting into the hood, so to speak, and essentially saying we are coming to you, and we're trying, and we will do everything we can to make your lives better. If you want to do better, we're trying to come to where you are. If you want to do better, now if you don't want to do better, if you just want to break into somebody's home, then HPD and the Sheriff's Department and the DA's office, that's available too. Okay, but there are many people out in our community that want to do better, but they feel capped by their lack of potential, lack of skills. The skill set's low, and we want to try to raise that.
And again, when might the Sunnyside Resource Fair be? Is there a date for it yet?
Yeah.
Did I miss it? I'm sorry.
March
sorry.
26th.
March 26th. I beg your pardon.
March 26th from 10 to 3, and that's going to be at the Sunnyside Multi-Service Center, 9413 Cullen, and we are tweeting it out. We're on the Facebook. Tweet the Facebook. We're periscoping. It's periscoping right now. We're periscoping, but we are, Houston Chronicle. Front page, Turnaround, Houston. Any other questions? Look, thank you, but I certainly want to thank you for being here. But if you would help us to disseminate it, because literally the reason, we chose Turnaround Houston because of what it says. And that's literally, oftentimes we focus on, there are many areas of our city that are doing extremely well. But there are several areas that have yet to show that improvement. And this is one way of if we turn around the individuals, we can turn around the neighborhoods, we turn around the communities, we advance the city of Houston. So this is about going directly to where that individual is who may have given up and basically saying, not yet, we're not giving up on you, don't give up on us. Okay, thank you so very much, appreciate it. These resource fairs, there will be people who are Spanish speaking, other languages will be provided as well. So Spanish speakers will be available at all of the resource fairs.